What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about B3 base token today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. Here we are. Here we are. The thought has been completed, my friends. The THOT. We've done it. Hit the golden ratio. We've found our support. Now it's time to go to the moon, baby. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe we do. I'm not convinced yet, right? This is a price that we've been somewhat confident on, right? I know I had some people laughing at me up here whenever I was saying that the price would go down, but who's laughing now? I'm not laughing, man. I don't want to see people lose money. And I know a lot of people bought up here, but I want to see even the jokers. I want to see everybody make money. I don't want to see people lose money. Hopefully some people took it upon themselves to buy at these areas that we had predetermined all the way back here, right? It's a good area to buy. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, though. I'm not so convinced that we do bounce here yet. Let's see if we can figure this out together. This is my first time looking at the chart, probably in like 24 hours, right? When was my last video that I made? Let's see. B3. When did I make the last one here? Yeah, so yesterday. Yeah. Cool. Multi-100x potential, baby. And it does. It really does have multi-100. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Somebody asked me today if there was 5 coins that I would buy, like if I had to start my portfolio over, what 5 coins would I buy? This was one of them. This is definitely one of them. I like it a lot. I like it because it's got the gaming narrative. It's a layer 3. It's interesting. It's interesting, man. And it's got a good, I think it has a good team. I don't know these people, but I think it's got a good team. I think it's got some crypto alumni involved here. Anyways, let's get to work, man. Let's stop talking so much. The 4-hour RSI, yeah, it's looking a little bearish. I wouldn't be surprised if you went lower. Let's look at the 1-hour RSI. Yeah, it's looking a little bearish. Looking a little bearish. You're in a downtrend. So with the golden ratio, it's very common when you bounce from this area to find resistance at the 0.5 or the 382. So if you do move a little bit higher and you find resistance at about 0.0062, and then you come back down to the golden ratio, likely you will go to the 786 or 886, okay? If you proceed higher and you go to the 382, which is at these prior areas of support, which I wouldn't be surprised if you did, a little fake out, little psych in your face, right? You're like, oh, we're breaking out, we're seeing higher prices, yay! But then you don't look back far enough and you see that there's prior areas of support here you could be finding resistance at. That's at 00666, essentially. That's a wicked number, man. 20666 could be where you go. And then you find resistance there. It's very common when working your way down to find support at the golden ratio, resistance at the 382, and then work your way down, or resistance at the 0.5 and work your way down. If you find resistance in any of these areas, and hey, look at that, you're at the 0.5 now, you would likely go at the very least back to the golden ratio, and you could expect to find support there. That could happen. But if not, most of the time you actually do see the 786 or 886 come into play. And that's at about 0.0052 to 0.0049. You're at 0.00617 right now. Okay, let's see. 1 hour time frame. What about the 15-minute? Yeah, I don't know, man. All right, like it's kind of bad when your most overbought that you've been is just at a lower high. I don't know if you go too much higher. I wouldn't be surprised if you found resistance. I wouldn't be surprised right now if by the time most of you watch this was lower. But also, contrary to that, if we happen to go up here, that's fine. And inevitably, I do think you'll go lower. I suppose the call as of now is to go to 2052 to 20485, somewhere in that range. Yeah. Let's look at it like this. Hold on. Let's take it a step back even further. Okay, so we have the fibs there, yes. But we're finding resistance here, potentially, right, in this area, in this zone. We'd also be finding resistance at a prior area of resistance. If we were to go lower on a closing basis, you have resistance or support there, and maybe even on a closing basis here, you have support as well. What would that be in the relative fib terms from a low to a high? Come on. That wouldn't even be at your 786, actually. This low would, that wicking low would. Hold on, guys. So maybe I was too quick to say 0.0048. What is that? 0.00487. I mean, you could. Is it 489? I'm sorry, 0.0049 essentially. You could go down there. and I'm growing ever increasingly confident that you do find resistance, like basically right here. You're probably going to turn around right now. If I could short this thing, I'd go short right now. 100x, baby, let's go. No, probably you shouldn't. You guys, time out. On a whole different note here. If you're out there and you're figuring out leverage trading and you're having fun being a degenerate, you have no business using leverage that's really above 5x. Probably not even above 3x. Like genuinely, if you find yourself losing at leverage trading, try doing a 2 to 3x, because here's the thing, you're using it to leverage money, right? Crypto is already leveraged enough. You can make a ton, dude. You can make 100x in a month with various cryptos, let alone a whole cycle. So why leverage? Why leverage? If you do leverage 2x, 3x, don't do anything above that unless you're really sophisticated, know what you're doing, and you're in and out quick, man. But I just stay away from leverage. Really, is probably the best thing in my opinion. But because if you do 2x short here and it goes all the way up 6%, 7%, you're in a position where you can still at least hold out and wait for it to come back. But if you do a 10x, you're going to be down 70%. You probably get liquidated on some exchanges, right? Like they liquidate you before you get to a full price liquidation. They cut your losses for you. Some of them let you go all the way to it, but it's just too risky, man. You don't need to be doing anything more than a 2 or 3x, really 5x at the max, but whole different conversation there. Okay, it's degenerate. I really do think you do find support at 0.0052. I like that number a lot. I think that's exactly where you're going to go. So regardless of how high you go, that's where I'm calling for you to go down. If you do happen to find resistance at any of these areas that I was talking about, which would be the golden ratio, right? Which is if we find resistance at 20666 to 20619 like you are right now, and you go back to the golden ratio, it is possible that you could find support here at about 00576, 0055. It is possible you could find support there, and if you do, it would look something like this, right? You come up, maybe you find resistance somewhere in the area that you're at now, you come back down. If you were to close down here and then close back up above here, maybe even wick and find some support, something like that would make me think you're not going lower. But if you close below and then you wick above and you come back down, absolutely, you're going down to 0052 or lower, okay? I think that's where you complete the thought. I think that's where the move takes you to the downside. And let's just see real quick from a high to a low. Real quick. It's pretty close to your 069. Let me see this not on Coinbase where there's less volatility to the upside here. Come on, buddy. Yeah, right around half a cent, just above half a cent, something like that is where I think you're gonna go. And then in time, B3, you guys, I think has a lot of potential. It really does. Being at $131 million market cap, seeing $24 million in volume, that's great, man. I think that this thing, as I said in my last video, it is multi-100x possible. It's got multi-100x potential for sure. Let's expand upon that, and then we'll end the video, okay? At 131 million, 132 essentially, in market cap valuation, that would leave the door open. If you were to see 100x, that'd be at about was it? Yeah, 13 billion, $13.2 billion. Now, is $13.2 billion given to anything? No. It's not. Is 100x given to anything? No, it's not, but it's very possible. Looking for a drop and a nice pop, B3 might be the answer, not financial advice. It's about that time, just saying, 2 hours ago. I mean, hey, man, honestly, I don't disagree. You did bounce at the golden ratio, and he said this 2 hours ago. Let's just see. I mean, hey, it wasn't a bad call, to be completely fair. Right at the golden ratio, too, but it probably drops a little bit more. Maybe he's talking about a drop more and then a pop, and I agree exactly with that, actually. I like this. I like these gifts. That's funny. But at 132 million now, 13.2 billion would be the 100x level. You could see that. That's attainable. Not everything gets to those market caps, but that is attainable. Shiba Inu, I love using that. I love picking on Shiba Inu. It got to an $80 billion market cap last cycle, and it's just a meme coin. It came out as a Doge killer meme coin, right? One of the most kind of pointless coins that ever exists is a, if you ever hear this is going to be the Bitcoin killer, this is going to be the Ethereum killer, this is the XRP killer, if you're a wannabe, because that's what you're saying with that, right? You want to kill them, you want to overtake them, that makes you a wannabe, right? And you will never find success if that's the case. Every coin that I've ever heard that's an Ethereum killer, a XRP killer, a Bitcoin killer, well, I've heard of them. I've been in 3 bull markets, but you guys probably haven't heard of them. You know what I mean? You probably haven't heard of them, and there's a reason for that. No offense to Solana. I know that it wants to be the Ethereum killer, but hey, man. Fortunately enough for Solana, its mission statement is not to be the Ethereum killer. It knows better. But if you identify as something that you want to be better than, you're basically you're literally saying without saying it. You're saying that this thing's the king. And I'm getting off on a whole. I'm getting off on a whole another tangent here. But all I'm trying to say is if the Doge killer Shiba could reach $80 billion last cycle, this thing at 13.2 billion would be 100x. It could certainly see 4 times that, which would be 55 billion. It could see 6 times 13 billion. You know, it could definitely see a 600x by the end of the cycle. Now, will it see a 600x? No, I don't think it will. It's possible. I accept it as a possibility. If the gaming narrative gets big, if this is the next Ethereum, but for gaming, the next XRP, but for gaming, it's an OG coin, but for gaming like that. Like if it sets itself up in the right way and it's got the right team to do it, maybe. Maybe you could see a 600x or more this cycle, but I doubt it. I think 100x to a 400x are, as crazy as it sounds, maybe those are reasonable targets, man, but even a 100x is doable. Does it mean you're going to get there? No. I like to say this too nowadays after saying 100x potential, right? I like to say I'll be lucky. I talk about 100x's all the time. I'll be lucky. I'll consider myself lucky if one of the coins that I talk about does 100x, let alone if multiple do it. You know what I mean? So don't count on 100x happening, but it's possible. It's got that possibility. Could this thing stop at an 18x? Sure. I doubt it, though. I really doubt it. Could it stop at a 50x to a 60-something x? Okay, those are, in my opinion, those are likely targets. Those are more quote-unquote realistic. If you were to break 100x, I don't think you stop at 100x. I'd actually think you go all the way up to $1, 85 cents to $1.10. I can see that happening, man. I really do believe that you could go there. In fact, if I was to make a call, if I was to put a bet on where you stop, I bet it is around $1, 85 cents to $1.08. That's, I bet you do go there, man. If not, yeah, you could reach all the way up to $3.60. It's possible. I just don't expect it to happen, right? It's like this is unrealistic to the upside. This to me, or lower, unrealistic to the downside. This right here, good possible minimum. This right here, good possible maximum. Anything in between, good possibility as well, right? I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you understand the point of this video or the message of this video. It's don't buy. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but don't buy here. Wait for the price to go down. I think that it will go a little bit lower, probably around 0052, and then you'll be able to go higher. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. You do whatever you want, man. If you want to buy here, go for it. But just have this conversation with yourself, okay? If you're feeling the FOMO and you're like, I don't know, C-Zar, I can see it, man. It's going to go through the moon. And maybe it does. I'm not perfect. I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. It's inevitable. It's the art of the trade, man. You can't expect to be 100% right all the time. The people that care about that, they don't have experience in this game, man. If you care about that, oh, man, that's depressing. But if you get in here, that's fine. It's actually not a bad price. Why is it not a bad price? Because from the relative high and compared to where you're going to go a lot higher, but you're down 25%. It's not a bad, it's at a discount. It's not a bad price. But if you do buy here, and I wouldn't buy here personally, but if you do buy here, you have to have the conversation with yourself. I'm okay with the price going here. I will buy here and sit through the downside because I'm waiting patiently like a good boy or a good girl to the ladies for the price to go up higher. It's possible. It's very possible. Yeah, I think that we're going to go down to 0052. I got nothing else to say. Hit the like button, you guys. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.